Yes, hello. Thank you for calling me in and having me come today. I understand that many assume that I should come back in. Being such a huge comedian and loving to make people laugh, this should be the energy that I bring back with me, right? When people are calling me in channels to be able to connect. But I can't always be happy. And what I'm seeing happen to humanity right now doesn't really make us that happy when we see it from this side, because we are still seeing so many people that we care about and we love and respect being so asleep. And so it is a hard job for us, but a job that we love to be able to do is by being able to nudge people that we love into more awoken thoughts and processes and understanding the bigger picture here and what's truly, truly, truly going on behind closed doors. I'm seeing a lot of my fellow actors, actresses, and film crews, and everyone who's in the show business industry, all being very much aware of, to some degree, the the revolting nature of what was going behind the scenes. And I did partake in some of the rituals, not all of them. I did not touch children. I was addicted to the drug, quite heavily addicted to the drug. And this was in my. I did have a natural talent and I did want to entertain. And it wasn't until after my Mork and Mindy show when I started really getting quite interested in the drug. I didn't realize what the drug was at the time, so I was playing with lots of drugs, um, and it just became more and more and more. My thirst and interest for other drugs and to get out into different realities. My lifestyle could afford me that, and I did want to live the rich and famous rock star lifestyle, even though I was an actor and I enjoyed playing music, but I was not as talented as it, and so it was just fun. But I did live. I lived life to the max. I did suffer from depression, and I was an empath. And so this is why I could be such a good actor, was because I could role play off and bounce off my other fellow um, actors and actresses, and I could really get into a mood and a state and quite convincingly portray and project out. It was a beautiful craft, and I loved it. And I did love acting so passionately in all of my roles. It became very easy to become just the comedian. There were some very heavier roles that I did really enjoy to be not so stereotyped as the comedian. So you will find those ones. They may not be your most favorite ones of mine, but they will still had validation. They were still very important for the collective consciousness to be aware of. Um, I am uh, I am ashamed that I hit the drugs quite hard. I was fooling myself while convincing others that I was able to function. I did drink a lot more than I should have, and that was trying to, ironically, remove myself away from the drugs and to kind of put myself into a different state of mind. And so that's when the alcohol came in more. Uh, I was introduced to the drugs by managers and other fellow actors and just stage crew. It was the people that I was surrounded with. It was just normal to be able to have access to all sorts. And then when you are at parties, you are offered a lot. Your fans come and want to share a lot with you, and it's nearly, you have to have the will and strength of some tremendous warrior to not feel the peer pressure to partake in what was going around at parties. While I thought I was having a fantastic life and getting a just blitzed, just way too many hangovers, way too many nights where I had no recollection of what I had done. It was fun because everyone was doing it until everyone started not doing it. um, and I was noticing that my consciousness was feeling very heavy, and I couldn't understand why. I wasn't really being the best sort of husband for my wife, and I really needed to knuckle down as soon as we started having children. I wanted to really shake myself out of my crap. I had to deal with my childhood issues. Um, and other trauma that I didn't actually realize I had from other lifetimes. So I was paying off karma. I was reliving and trying to push myself through a lot of my trauma from my earlier years. And it was a lot of inner work when it was so easy to have a drink, to have a snort, to do anything to be able to distract myself from my inner work. Uh, and my job just kept getting more and more successful. And the more famous I became, the more I didn't want to hang out with those friends who were liking to party too much, because it just, I wanted to be a recluse. I wanted to be with my family. I wanted to do my work on the side, and it was a balance. It was very, very hard to balance everything I needed to do. And I found the attention of in public, when people recognized me, expecting me to say a joke, um, I could sense people's energies. So when they saw me, they were waiting for me to make them laugh personally. And there was a lot of pressure. I wanted to help them. I wanted to make a laugh, wanted to make life a light of a life because it's so damn heavy and hard. And I know that people were looking on me to always be this entertainment sidekick of humour for you. And that was a lot of pressure I put on myself, and I felt like everyone had expectations of me to always be hilarious and on, and it actually was almost impossible for me to truly be on. And so I was very moody when I was home. I didn't want to connect with anyone. I didn't want to feel anyone's energy. I was just wanting to be by myself and isolated. And then I did snap at my children a few times. I wasn't really always the best human I could be for my family. And then the guilt set in, the parent guilt set in. The shame of not always being perfect, the shame of not always being funny, the shame of not always being able to relieve people from their own pain with some quick, funny humor. The whole pressure I put on myself, and the pressure I felt like I needed to make the world laugh. I needed to remove and heal the world with humor and take all of the pain and burden away from humanity. I felt like that was part of my role. And I was given so much ridiculous amounts of money to be able to do that. I felt like it was my purpose in life. And when I was in the heaviness of that weight of the world, I hid from the world because I felt like an epic failure. And so that's when I really wanted to do more serious roles to be able to help humanity awaken more to the self-empowerment of themselves. And it was very challenging. I felt like I had a breakdown. I felt like there was nothing that could really reach out to the audience and hug them and love them and remove everything that they were suffering and struggling from. So it was very challenging for me to get over the fact that it was not my responsibility to save the world. I was simply one man who had a passion to act, and I did love humor. But I wasn't the funniest person. But I wanted to, I wanted to make the world laugh, and I wanted to make the world sing and feel happy and lighter, because I could see and sense how hard and how dark people's hearts and minds were, struggling financially, struggling to be the best, struggling to make a mark in this world. And when you got to my status of being an actor, and when roles were being written for you, I didn't have to work as hard as I once was, and seeing so many thirsty, talented actors and actresses coming in, begging and doing anything to get the signed deal contract so they could then potentially be the next big wonder. It was really disturbing how many people would, and I say this not literally, but would happily sign their souls over, sell their souls to the devil to be able to be the next famous person. Was just yuck. It just was wrong. So many amazingly talented people being pushed aside, and yet other people who are willing to do anything for anyone getting the roles. We were not seeing these top class actors being produced. We were seeing some people who had questionable morals, who didn't care to be used in the system. I just wanted to get out. I couldn't enjoy my craft as much, knowing that what the mass of the world was seeing was very diluted talent with very morally questionable, corrupt people. And it just made me feel sick. And I just wanted to get out. And I lost all the joy in my life. I lost my will to live. I just was not focusing on what was really important to me. I lost my marriage. I lost the respect of my children. And I hurt a lot of people because I could just feel the weight of the world. And I felt like my window of opportunity to help awaken people and heal them was slipping past my grasp. And even though I knew it was not my purpose and not my role to try and help humanity feel in love with themselves and feel confident that they could be anyone they wanted to, they could seize the day, I just felt broken. I just felt so incredibly lost. So I was very struggling. I had so many addictions to so many different things. I was trying to feed and heal my broken soul myself. It was very challenging, very, very challenging. And I'm only reflecting back on it now because I am taking the channeler through a journey of my life, a journey of my career, to help her see and understand what had happened. A lot of people always knew about the crimes against humanity and what was really happening at those parties and how people were getting manipulated and controlled. And somehow I did seem to step aside and move out of those scenes, but I was very much aware. But that did not kill me. I killed myself. I was done. I was done. There was claims that I had taken new medication and that pushed me to a psychotic break, and I had then taken myself out as an exit point. But I had done things that I couldn't go back onto, and so I chose that exit point. I know it was a bit dramatic, and I'm sorry for all the people I have hurt, but it was taking too much toll. It was taking too much energy, and it was just, I was off purpose. I was off path, and I wasn't able to get myself back on. So I did enjoy my life for the things that I did do, because I know that while my movies didn't profoundly do what I had hoped and dreamed they could, I still know it opened up a part of your hearts and added some humor, added some entertainment, and added some distraction in what is a very challenging time. So I am sorry. I am sorry that I hurt so many, but I was hurting so badly, so much. And I was just an old tired man. I couldn't shake it off. I had got into some really heavy mindsets. Um, I was just exhausted. And I took the opportunity to leave because I did not want to keep making any more mistakes, and I didn't have the confidence to know that I would be able to stay sober. I didn't have the confidence to be able to know I wasn't going to have a relapse of anything. And I saw my fellow actors and my friends that I once admired, and I just witnessed them from the side, and I really saw people that I did not admire anymore. And it was really challenging to see your heroes all suddenly become very human and less than perfect, and much more less than perfect that was acceptable for me. It was challenging times, such challenging times, but I have learned so much from it. I have learned not to feel the responsibility of trying to heal the world by jokes, even though my humor was was the only tool I really had to share. There is no one person that can save the world or save humanity. It is a group. And you can only do that if your group is pure and have the right attention and agenda. Intention and agenda. And when you have more corrupt, morally corrupt people who are trying to be pushing one industry into their own way of life, an own way of thinking, you're closing the doors to pure talent. It should never have been. I find my craft so beautiful, acting and humor and um, the beautiful stories that can be weaved into a movie that can really profoundly move humanity into a positive direction. But it also can be misused and actually can bring down humanity's high vibrations. So my beautiful theatre passion was corrupted. And just like anyone who has a passion for something, when you know it has been tarnished quite badly with hidden agendas, it is almost maddening. It is almost maddening to see something that you love and you would not eat or sleep for to be able to do your work because you're so driven and so passionate. And I was so driven and I was so passionate for my passions. I love them so much. I lived for them. They invigorated me. So when you're so passionate about something and then know that other people in your field have got corruption and hidden agendas, uh, it makes it very challenging, very, very, very challenging to move forward from that. So what I am doing now is I am trying to nudge people into the right direction to be able to see the bigger picture here. I am heavily focused on my friends and my family who should have a more stronger voice. The truth about these things should have been able to come out, but unfortunately, so many of them are so profoundly corrupted that now it's not even possible for them to be truthful and tell people about the true state of things. So it is all going to be unfolded very soon. And the people who are left who could speak out, because it is truly now safe to speak out. Anyone that knows the truth could speak out. And you know the mainstream media is never going to challenge you about it or publish anything. It's so taken into one narrative. Anyone right now could jump onto a live YouTube and experience and share anything that they have witnessed. There's so much footage out there. It is beyond absurd that the truth about the crimes against humanity isn't out publicly, full disclosure publicly. So for anyone that is wanting to share their truths but is holding back because of the lashback, I think you have no time to even worry about that now. You might as well just confess what you experience, confess what you're aware of. Don't be afraid. You should never be afraid of the truth. Being afraid of the truth is just a classic example of how humanity has got so wrong. We should be afraid of being lied to. We should be afraid of being tricked, fooled, controlled, manipulated, used, and abused. And yet, people are still more afraid of the truth and sharing the truth than putting up with and being exposed to all of the nonsense that is being shared on a daily basis, every which way. So I know you're expecting me potentially to come in with a joke. The joke is humanity. The joke is where the state of humanity has gotten to. And I'm not talking about the truly awakened people. I'm talking about the people who are still so stuck in following the peer pressure of the nonsense and the bullshit. I am still close. I haven't fully crossed over as such. You're not speaking to my higher self at all. You're speaking to the consciousness of me. And I'm still very human. Like, I don't want to be evolved yet because I still want to be connected to my kids. I still want to be able to be close. So if you want to say I am a ghost, I am right here. I've always been right here. I haven't wanted to fully transition over because I still want to feel this. I still want to experience this. I still want to be able to be more connected to my kids. I want to be more connected to my wives. I want to be more connected to my friends. And if I can get a chance to haunt a few people along the way, I will. Because I am so passionate about humanity. I tried my best. I was just one man who was very human. And I succumbed to a lot of things I'm not proud of. But I can see this from a bigger picture now. I'm learning from it and I'm growing from it. And if I had to scale myself, my good that I did for humanity and the bad I did for humanity, I did okay. I didn't do truly any full crimes against humanity personally. For so long, I was not aware of the drug and how it was being manufactured. And I'm sorry. And I am making amends. So I just wanted to come in with my humble self and acknowledge my experiences, be open, and still have passion in my heart for humanity because that will never change. That will never change. And if you do, in the short time that you have left, see a movie from me. And if it moves you, know that it is a gift from me because I have loved you. And I've always wanted to inspire you and uplift you and empower you. And I always wanted the truth for you. I just couldn't get it all out. And I'm sorry.